So the first step that I was talking about is the Christ consciousness and what world religions do not want you to know. First of all, what is Christ consciousness? It is a state of consciousness related to enlightenment, to oneness, that we can all tap into it from within. It goes beyond the duality, and it goes towards the integration of polarities. In the Christ consciousness, when we are in that state, it's going to be the union between the individual consciousness and also the infinite or God consciousness. So it is important to have an idea of what we are looking into. A description about Christ, definition would be, and I'm going to read, Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, which comes from the Hebrew word for Messiah, which is derived from the Hebrew word Massa, which means to anoint. So Messiah essentially means someone who has been anointed. Anointed being a religious ritual of bestowing a blessing. So this is something obviously very positive, and it's talking about this blessing, holiness, enlightenment. However, I don't know how it's here in the US, but when I grew up in Spain, it was totally different, because the word Christ, which is Cristo, was the same as crucifixion. So imagine growing up and going to every single place, that morally they wanted to have those crucifixes on the wall, reminding you all the time that Christ is this suffering, this sacrifice, when instead it's really to be blessed, to be anointed. So it's creating already this double meaning and this not so positive energy. Who wants to be crucified, obviously? So this is part of the manipulation from religion that has happened for, I would say, the last 2,000 years or more. So we want to start breaking through that and understanding that we have to bring through this true spirit, not these empty cells, the going to the mall to buy things for our parents and our families, but really looking into our inner light and how we can tap into it. So some of the things that I'm going to be sharing is about how we can tap into that through different ways. One of them is going to be breaking away from the conditioning and indoctrination from religion. And basically churches have taught us that we have to go to a place and listen to somebody outside of us, at external authority, to find that guidance. So that is not going to give us empowerment. Instead, we want to go within, and instead to have all this fear, guilt, sacrifice, self-judgment, start learning about self-love. That's the key point. I felt that in Catholicism, I didn't find that so much. It was always about, you're born a sinner and you need to redeem yourself. So how can we modify that and start focusing on self-love, going towards enlightenment? So basically, all these external religions are taking us away from enlightenment. Now, what happens when we go towards enlightenment? We discover that we have all that we need within. We don't need to go out to find somebody that can connect us with this Christ consciousness, but truly it's just within us, and the connection and interconnectedness between you and I and everyone else. That is going to truly transform the world and take off a lot of the power that those churches have. Another thing is that Messiah always has the connotation of a savior, somebody that is going to arrive. So we are here waiting and seeing when is the day that he's going to come back. Obviously he, not she, and rescue us. Well, that is also going to keep us quite asleep. So it is time now to awaken. And I know that all of you are in this path already. So that's really powerful.